Somebody tell me what's wrong here. Oof, she's cooked. Well, this ought to be a good one to document. Had somebody local reach out to me about rebuilding a 460. He'd already torn it down and saw the bad news. We did try and clean up the cylinder when he was here about a month or so ago. And if I can get the light on here just right, you know, it's just not good enough. You know, if you look above the exhaust port. So I ended up finding him a used cylinder that's going to do nice. It's an early D chamber. This is a Hemi chamber. Let's see, he's already got a max flow and he's got a bark box, but this MS460 is absolutely in pristine condition. I mean, you know, the plastic hasn't even yellowed. You never see that. And this is a manufacture date 0103. This is a 21-year-old saw. Now, you see all the good. I mean, look, I mean, once I get this cleaned up, this thing's gonna look like a brand hammer new saw. Low hour don't quite cover it. That clutch looks brand new. You know, it's just crazy how good a shape this thing's in. Got a nice find off of eBay. There was a little bit of surface rust on it, but when I zoomed in and looked at the pictures, you know, the crankshaft where the bearing sits is still in really good shape. This cleaned up nice. So a lot better than what we got going on there. This is definitely a later 460. That's not a whole lot of muffler opening for a 77cc saw. I will take this baffle out. They seem to run better. There's a bark box that he had on it. There's a max flow as well. So this should be a nice performance build. We'll get this thing cleaned up and get a case split, new bearings, seals, and gaskets. That's more like it. Oh, look out. Crankshaft actually moves. New factory seals in, new bearings, meteor piston, caper rings, and get some port work done next. All right, before we button this up, full exhaust work. Upper's been raised. Of course, base has been machined. Squish band. I didn't touch the intake. I'm gonna see how it runs. These seem to have plenty of intake, in my personal opinion. If I need to lower this a little bit to make up for what I've taken off the base, we'll see. But I feel like I should have pretty good results with that. It's been a minute since I've done a 460. A little tiny bit of carb work. I did relieve the Venturi in there. I don't know if you can quite catch that. This is an HD 16. So this would be considered an EPA carburetor. So what I did was just open up the Venturi a little bit. Still left enough for a pressure change. Re-drilled the jet. These come with 68 jets, and this should now be a 72 jet like came in the old 046s. So nothing crazy, just making sure it can put out like it's supposed to with some performance work. I know I keep gushing over this saw, but I want you, before I put the covers on, I want you to take a look. Everything on here is original. If you look at all these screws, they're still the gold screws from back in the day. This thing's got every last original screw, nut, bolt, everything on it. I mean, it's... All right, I'll quit oohing and on with these last few pieces on. I'm going to clean and service his max flow and pull the cord on this rascal. that's a runner. And if you think it's cutting a little on the slow side, let me introduce you to our Southern Hickory. You get in there and look at that grain. She's tight. This stuff's hard as a rock. Anyway, I believe you'd be happy with it. What do y'all think?